everyone. Today I'm going to be painting a picture of my dog as a puppy using water mixable oils. So yeah, I just wanted to have a super chill paint session while also talking about something that a lot of artists, including myself, struggle with, which is having an art style or finding an art style and everything that goes with that. So I just wanted to, talk about that, and feel free to leave your ideas and comments and whatever down below, because I'm always interested in hearing other people's opinions on this as well. So yeah, let's get painting. The picture that I'm using, obviously Stevie is brown, but this picture looks super orange and everything is really warm toned, so I thought it would be fun to have a purple like background or underlayer. So I'm just toning the canvas because, like I've said a billion trillion times, I literally hate painting on a white surface. It stresses me out, and we're not going to do that. I always call this an underlayer, but it's really not. Underlayers are usually when you put like a lot of tonal range in as well, but I never really like to do that. I just kind of block color in, I guess, and make sure that the canvas isn't white, because like I said, I do not like painting with white. So the past couple months I'm like, dang, do I have an art style, but do I like need one? Do I like I don't know, just an identity crisis, I guess, as an artist. Anyways, on Instagram, obviously social media is great, but I think it can kind of be toxic sometimes because you're like comparing yourself to other people, and that can be not so great. So I don't know, but I've definitely seen like, I'm so bad at talking and painting, what the fuck. Yeah, I've been comparing myself too much, I guess, and I've also been thinking of like, I guess like also starting an Etsy shop, but like the branding of it, and then how people can like tell it's your work. And a lot of artists that already are like established business people and like they have their own businesses and stuff, they have a specific art style, especially like, you know, like the mural painters like 1000 and Kipto and all these people, like they kind of have their own brand and their own themes all the time, and you can definitely see that in their work. So they have like a specific style, but they stick to it, which is also smart in a business sense because people can know it's them. It's kind of like their trademark, like the way that they draw their figures or the colors they use or whatever. But then part of me is like, okay, so shoot, if I'm like, should I like have an art style? I like doing lots of different mediums. If you guys could already, tell through my Instagram, I like oil paintings, I love drawing, I love acrylic paint. I like to do lots of different things, and with that comes a different style of work. I'm not gonna have the same style of art with an oil painting than I am like a watercolor painting. So it's like, because I work in all these different mediums, I don't know if it's even possible for me to have like one specific style that like sets me apart from other artists. So it's like, oh dang, should I stick to one medium? But then that's not fun, and then also like you're limiting yourself to like grow and develop in other areas as an artist. But I think this is toned enough. I can kind of still see my outlines and my pencil work of Stevie. The background, I mean, I don't really draw that much anyway in the background, but I can't really see that. But as long as I can see the dog, that's okay with me. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I will get back and onto the actual painting itself. And I'll start with like her face, because I always do that. I start with the face to make it like a focal point, and then I work my way out. And then with painting, I really like to have like big brush strokes to make it fun and loose. And yeah, so I will be back with this dry. So yeah, I think it's just interesting the length that people go to create work for others and to actually find a job and a career off of their art, and then also to still have a balance between doing personal work that you like and the styles and mediums that you like. So I mean, it's an interesting topic and subject for sure. Artists that like work in their studios and just do personal work and are their own business people, or artists that work with companies that do what the companies want them to do. Oh my god, I didn't even put yellow on the palette. I'm so disorganized. It's actually funny like trying to film videos and like paint and talk and just concentrate. I really need to get better at talking and doing art. Holy crap. Okay. I'm just mixing some paint on my palette and I'm making an orange. I love how my camera just doesn't want to focus. I don't even care. I'm making orange. Ooh, look how nice it looks. Because guess what? It's because I freaking put purple down. Color theory. Dang. Just kidding. I literally don't know anything about color theory. It'll be interesting to do some painting at school and to take some like painting courses and stuff because obviously I really enjoy painting. She looks crazy right now. It's funny because especially oil paintings, there's such an ugly phase that happens. Like right now, like what the fuck is going on, right? I think for me, my art only looks good till like the very end. Like I hate it until it looks okay. Okay, so I'm just working on the background now, and yeah, just adding some dark tones and then some lighter tones, and then I'll play around with the fur after and just see how it all looks. But yeah, I'm still thinking about the whole art and business side of everything. I also just wanted to talk about like social media for a bit because obviously social media is a great tool for artists and creators and all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting because, you know, not only are we creating work that we enjoy and we like, but we kind of need to be aware of like algorithms and how people are going to view it and like consistency. Consistency is very interesting, and it's also very like professional. Like social media, you wouldn't think of like kind of being professional. It's kind of like a stupid place where people post like stupid little things, but you know, at the end of the day, people are following you for your art or for that one thing that you posted. So that's why it's interesting too to have a style because of consistency. People are more likely to come back if they see the thing that they followed you for consistently. I've said consistently way too many times, but let's say you follow an artist and you really like their work, but then one day they just start posting random like car pictures. You're probably not going to be too happy because that's not what you followed them for. So that's kind of like a similar thing that I've been thinking about with like art styles. You know, maybe you are a multimedia or medium artist, but at what point are you going to stay consistent with your work and have like kind of a common theme throughout everything so that your followers can kind of tell that it's you or whatever? That's something that I've been kind of struggling with recently. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I like realistic paintings, but I also like, oh shit. I like cartoon stuff as well, and yeah, it's interesting just to find one thing to focus on. Not that you have to, but again, social media definitely rewards consistency. And like algorithms and stuff. Like, if you post consistently, then, yeah, they'll like you. Like, what a sad world we live in, but again, if it's like connected with your livelihood, then these are kind of things that actually do matter and people do have to think about. And with that being said, it's like why a whole bunch of influencers pick just like one little niche to focus on because they can really build a community around that. Same thing with artists. A lot of artists pick like one thing to do and again, it's pretty niche so they can like build a big following off of that. Like for an example, fan artists. They pick one like little fandom to focus on and yeah, I guess people follow them for that. But then there's no room for that artist to like move on to different things because everyone just expects them to do the fandom stuff. And if they do move on to different things, sometimes people can get a little bit like confused or frustrated or just like unfollow the person. It's kind of like the car thing. Like if they follow you for a certain thing, then you just all of a sudden start posting something completely different. People are kind of gonna not really react in the same way. To what extent do you have to stick with something to build a following and like get money off of it, but then still develop a diverse like portfolio and still paint what you want or do, you know, the art that you want and not just for your audience or the people that like it. So as someone who's, you know, still a student and just kind of new to sharing my work on social media, obviously I don't really need to worry about this, but it's just something that I've been observing and noticing and whatnot. So it's interesting just to bring it up and start a conversation. And yeah, I mean, it's never too late to think about the future and think about how you want to take your career or like what direction you want to take your career in. And then what are the steps that you're like gonna do to like get to that end goal. So yeah, I would encourage you to think about some of your favorite artists or creators or whatever and think, do they have a niche? And do they stick to one certain thing, or do they explore a whole bunch of different things and are all over the place? And how do you feel when or if they do switch up their media and yeah, post different stuff? Because most of the artists that I follow, I think they have a specific style. And I think I was explaining this earlier, but I was talking about like all the mural painters and how, again, their style is kind of their trademark, and that's how they get more experience and more murals and gigs and whatnot. So like 1000 and Kipto, like I love their art so much, but they definitely have like a distinct style that they use in pretty much all of their art. So what if one day 1000 just randomly did some like crazy abstract or like hyper realistic work that looked nothing like his previous work? How would his followers react, and how would like the companies that he would work with react? Because they want like the 1000 look, they don't really want whatever else he might want to do. You know, obviously like he probably built that style because he liked it and he wanted to do it, but you know, let's say just randomly, if he ever did want to change like his thing completely, could he even do that? Or is he literally just limited to what people have followed him for and what people hire him for? Well, because I was kind of thinking of like, okay, so where do I want to take my art, and what are some of the streams that I would love to go into? And for me personally, yeah, I'm really interested in like painting murals, and I would love to like, yeah, be a mural artist. I think that would be super cool. So I was thinking, oh yeah, and then also like being a tattoo artist. Like I know those are two completely different things, but I think that's the beauty of art. Like you don't necessarily need to just stick to one career. You can have like multiple industries that you work from. But I think both of those industries, it's important to have a certain style that people can like find your work through. For tattooing, I think it's a bit different from like when you start out, because you need to be versatile and you need to like be able to do, you know, your walk-ins and do whatever your client wants. But after you become a little bit more established, people are gonna get tattooed by you because they like your work. So what does your work look like? And then after a while, if you do become established, people are gonna come in because of that one specific style that you built up. So it would be hard to change. Like you can't really do a complete 180. You can do little changes. You can maybe do like, you know, let's say you do a realism, then you could do like semi-realism. But if you're like, you know, like one of those tattoo artists that do like bright, crazy colors or like crazy cartoon characters, and then one day you just on your flash have like this weird realistic, like, I don't know, Jesus portrait, like there's no consistency there. So once you become like an actual professional in whatever career you kind of choose, there is a level of consistency that you need to maintain, which is interesting. And so that's what I was kind of talking about with social media as well. Once you build a following, are you able to stick with it? Is it like sustainable to stay with one form of art for the rest of your career or life or whatever? And as artists, obviously, we can switch things up and change things around, but the whole social media and then how other people view your art will also affect that. But I don't think anyone should just have to limit themselves and stick with one thing. If it works for them and they like it, then obviously cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, it really shouldn't matter about social media, but it does, because that's where people's income comes through and their like visibility and how, yeah, people find them and whatnot. I should start thinking of like some styles of like mural stuff that I could start working on. Same thing with tattooing, maybe like finding a style that I really like and practicing it so that one day I could like potentially be part of Vancouver's art scene and become, you know, successful in whatever career that I choose. I really wanted this to be a satisfying, like, look at me, almost done the painting, doing my signature, but the paint under is so wet. This is just not it. This looks so bad. Ugh. Fuck. Actually, I just hate this so much. Why is doing my signature harder than the actual painting? Usually I don't paint this small, so it's like really hard to just, I don't know, get the freaking AG up here. Okay, I'm pretty much, oh, I literally cannot film things without making a fool of myself, so here we are. This video has been all over the place. I watched a little bit of the clips that I had just filmed and I have no idea what's going on, so I'm so sorry if you don't either, because yeah, welcome to my world. I sit down, I do art, I have a whole bunch of existential crises and I film them and then hope that people also relate. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Are you firm believers of having one consistent art style and sticking to it, or something completely different? Let me know down in the comments, because I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. Are you an artist yourself? Do you struggle with having a consistent art style? Do you want one? Do you care about it? Have you never thought of it before and now you're just like, Alex, what? And you're welcome for the existential crisis. Let's go see the final painting.